Boy32 here. Today, John Grump drops another bombshell, this time about the Rare Breed triggers, only on John Grump News. Thank you, Boy32, for the awesome introduction. My name is John Crump. I'm an investigative journalist. Actually, I'm the heavyweight champion of investigative journalism. And I'm going to bring you another story today. But before we get into that, a lot of you are new, so let me tell you who I am. I am an investigative journalist with MLN News. I investigate the ATF, FBI, agencies, and organizations that want to violate your God-given and constitutional right to bear arms. I am also a gun rights activist. I currently work for GOA as their Virginia State Director, Washington, D.C.'s only no-compromise gun lobby. All right, with that out of the way, if you can do me a huge favor, give this video a big thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe. Maybe you want a shirt. This crumpy, ever-vigilant shirt is here, and on the back, check this out. It's really cool. It says ATF. We also have patches and everything else available on BlackSwanTactical.com, and we are brought to you by Tusk. Tusk is a cryptocurrency for the firearms market. It is a way around big banks and everything else like that. All right, let's get into today's story. And today's story comes from a source inside the district court system that fed me information, and it turned out it is correct. And then I looked it up in Pacer, or had one of my attorneys look it up in Pacer, I should say. Stephen Stamboli and Rob Olson are incredible attorneys. If you need a firearms attorney, those are your guys. Rob deals with bump stocks. He did the bump stock case for GOA. Stephen did the whole Hawaii thing where he smacked the pee-pee of Hawaii when they tried to create some type of artificial backlog for getting a gun. All right, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about Rare Breed. Rare Breed triggers make something called a FRT-15, which is a force reset trigger. Basically, you pull the trigger and it goes back and it fires, and the bolt comes forward and it forces the trigger to reset. That isn't a single action of the trigger. And Rare Breed said, since that's not a single action of the trigger, it's not a machine gun. But as we know with bump stocks, the ATF can change their mind whenever they want. In fact, the ATF has never actually looked at this. Rare Breed never submitted a sample to the ATF to issue an opinion letter. Rare Breed used 4 experts, Rick Vasquez, Dan O'Kelly, and a couple other ones to determine that this isn't a machine gun because it's not a single function of the trigger. Well, bump stock's not a single function of the trigger either, and look what the ATF did there. All right, so the field office in Tampa sent Rare Breed a letter saying, hey, you guys are selling machine guns. That was dated July 26th. And it's basically a cease and desist letter. Rare Breed tried to get an emergency temporary restraining order against the cease and desist. The judge said nope. So Rare Breed sued in district court, which will be heard on the 18th. And they are seeking a permanent injunction against the ATF issuing a cease and desist. They're suing Merrick Garland, the DOJ, the special agent in charge of the Tampa Field Division, Marvin Richardson, who is the acting director of the ATF, and the ATF itself, trying to get some injunction so they can still sell the triggers. They are being represented by their owner. Their owner is a member of the Florida Bar, so he is representing the company himself. Do I think that they're going to win? I don't know. I'm not too hopeful on it. If I had my way, you'd be able to make machine guns all day long. And I don't think that the Rare Breed FRT-15 actually is a machine gun because it's not a single function of the trigger. Like Rare Breed argues, it is no different from any other trigger. And by just saying it's a machine gun because the rate of fire is sped up, that isn't good enough. And the ATF doesn't have the ability to change that rule under the Gun Control Act of 1968, the GCA. I don't think that Rare Breed's going to win on the district level, maybe on the circuit level or whatnot. But I do think that this will be challenged by other groups and everyone else. Maybe even Rob Olson will get involved somehow. He won the bump stock case until it was vacated, but that's another story. But yeah, that's all I have right now. On the 18th, we'll know more because that's when it will actually go to trial. Just wanted to make a quick little update since I broke the news. I thought everyone had it, but apparently not. So I broke it, then it went everywhere. Whoops. Maybe I should Google before I release stuff. But yeah, thanks for coming to the channel. I have a Patreon. If you like what I do here, you can always support me on Patreon. I do a lot of work in exposing the ATF and a bunch of behind the scenes stuff that people usually don't see. So my Patreon is how you can help support that. It would be marvelous. I also have a live channel where I talk to people from all different walks of life. Interviewing people is one of the things that I love to do. And I do that at my live channel. That's at John Crump Live on YouTube. With that said, stay ever vigilant, stay ever free, keeping the fight. I am out. YouTube Whisper out.